Hey, gun people. Well, I know I shouldn't laugh, but the antibiotics are kicking in. I'll claim that it's the meds. Rick, you can't laugh. This poor girl. Hey, um, so let's see what's going on here with this police officer. What was his name? Mr. Robert George. He was a sergeant. He was convicted of 2 counts of no, he wasn't convicted. She was charged with several counts. He was end up convicted in federal court for excessive force. I noticed in the article that it says he lost his job after state charges were filed, and then those charges were dropped after federal indictments were returned. So what happened is the state said, even if we convict him, we're not going to get much time. So they called in the feds, and the feds goes, oh, we can get more time. So the feds took the case, which I think is totally inappropriate. I don't like when the state and feds work together. I don't like when they go after people just to get more time. Make it fair, be consistent, keep the feds out of everybody's business. The Fed is the biggest problem with this country, but I digress. Let's take a look at this video. So it appears in here that he gets out of the car and just throws her, but in the full video, the news media, the crooked news media, cut out. He pauses about 10 or 15 seconds, and you can tell he's asking and getting frustrated that she wouldn't get out of the car. Doesn't excuse what he did, but let's look at what he did. Stands there, reaches in to assist the please, kind citizen. Now, let's remember, this started over a parking violation. Then she had been drinking and she got belligerent. So, contempt of cop, the cop who was enforcing, a sergeant who was enforcing parking violations, got his feelings hurt because a drunk female mouthed off to him. So he charges her with resisting arrest, illegal parking, and disorderly conduct. Anytime you hear those charges, those are all pretty much BS charges. So he charges her with all three, and then he does this because he's mad because he's got to work. Oh. Now, his statement was they charged him with lying in his police report, but they didn't convict him of that. He's saying she fell because when he tried to get her out of the car, she was resisting and her legs buckled and she fell. So this is her legs buckling and her falling. Actually, a pretty good little takedown there. Look, I got no love for cops who abuse anybody. I mean, she's a woman. Women can be just as a pain in the butt as men, but she's in handcuffs and she's in your custody. And you're supposed to be protecting her because you've taken away her ability to protect herself. Just like the government does when they say, give us your guns and we'll protect you. You don't need to protect yourself. Call 911. Call us. We're trained. We have backgrounds. This is your government background, your government employees who can carry a gun, who don't need a concealed permit, who's gone through backgrounds and has been vetted by the government, that they're deemed more credible and able to carry a gun safely than you stupid sheep who keep voting for more gun control. But I digress. Let's get back to the pinky toe takedown. His statement should have said, well, right here, her pinky toe got caught on the door, and that caused her to fall, and also known as the pinky toe takedown, and that's how she got hurt. And if we look at some pictures of the poor victim, she looks like she got banged up a bit. It's only a flesh wound. Anyway, the police officer was fired, and he's waiting to be sentenced on his federal conviction for excessive force. I don't know what he'll get. You know, if she had been a person of color, it would be worse, but she's still in a protected class because she's a woman. If this had been a white male, would people be saying this? Would this be going on? Probably not. In this PC culture, uh, you know, white males are open game and anybody else is a protected class. So we have to protect them unless you're a white male. But again, the feds went after him. The state charged him. They cut a deal with the feds and gave it to the feds. Happens a lot. When I worked child pornography cases, we always gave it to the feds because every picture that they have of a child porn is 10 years. So they have 10 pictures, they're facing 100 years. And the state, crime for that may be 4 to 6 years. So the feds always got child porn cases because they got more time. Again, I'm not a fan of that working who can screw the criminal over the worst. The law is the law. The state's supposed to have primary jurisdiction. They're supposed to do it. If they can't give people time, that's a voter, legislative, judge issue. It shouldn't be, let's just give them to the feds when we can use them to help us, when we can give up our power, we can give up our state rights, and we'll use the feds because we take their money. Federal government's a big problem. But in this case, hey, I think the guy deserves what he got. He's out there writing parking tickets instead of doing real police work, and then he gets a woman handcuffed and he wants to be a tough guy. So he gets what he gets in my book. Well, in that there,